if you clicked on this video, chances are you're a young guy who's in school or university, and you're just trying to have a good school experience, whether that comes to popularity and being well known, getting good grades and actually doing the work and being productive, and just gaining all the skills that you could gain from school and becoming a better man in general. So, this video is going to be the ultimate guide to school, and it's going to focus on three parts. Part one, all the skills and importance of school. Part two is the grades, and part three is popularity. So I think we just dive right into it. So yeah, part one is going to focus on the importance of school. So even though my stance actually is that the curriculum is based on the wrong things, because if you look at the history of the school system, it's actually derived from the Prussian school system. The same school system that was implemented, the only reason it was implemented is to create soldiers that would obey the orders of their superiors so that they could defeat their enemies, right, in battle. So if we're using that same curriculum today, that means they're still just trying to create people that they're just blindly follow the orders of their superiors, and that actually takes away a lot of your autonomy and it makes you kind of a modern day slave. With that being said, most of you are probably going to be forced to go to school until the end of school, maybe some of you university, some of you not. But if you're privileged enough and your parents have enough knowledge, maybe you could actually avoid the school system and go to something like get homeschooling or some different type of schooling that is not the mainstream school curriculum, right? So yeah, but since most of you are probably not in that boat, we can talk about many of the skills that you could gain while being in school. The first one being time management. Obviously, the more projects and assignments you're gonna do in a short amount of time, you're gonna be forced to kind of create so much of a schedule and a routine that helps you get a lot of things done and then get you the most free time, right? So that's definitely a skill that you could use in every aspect of your life after school. Another thing is respect for authority. Obviously, you should not be blindly following the orders of your superiors or the people older than you, with more knowledge. But you should have respect for people that you actually believe to have more knowledge than you, more experience than you, more wisdom than you. You should learn to have respect for them and how to kind of get on their good side. And once you can get on their good side, they can teach you a lot of the knowledge and experience that they have so that you can avoid the mistakes they made and that the mistakes most people make in life. And even when it comes to business, university, career in general, right? You can avoid a lot of the mistakes and avoid a lot of the obstacles that could come your way just because you got the knowledge from someone else. So you're going to be ahead of so many different people just because you had a mentor. Another skill that you get from school is discipline. And even though it's probably not your highest potential of discipline, just getting that discipline and doing all the work, even regardless of whether you like it or not. Most of you actually don't even like the subjects you do at school. So the fact that you keep doing the assignments and getting that work in, like regardless of how you feel about it, that's real discipline. So I'm saying if you could put that discipline into something that you actually enjoy, your output is going to be far greater than what your output is right now. And the last thing I want to talk about is social skills. Social skills, school is a good way to kind of socialize you into the real world if you utilize it properly. If you're just going to be antisocial and stay alone, you're going to grow up to be antisocial and then it's not going to be good for you in real life. I'm going to be honest with you. Because a lot of the success you can get in real life comes from the people that you hang out with, the people that you know, right? It's all about the connections. It's not just about how smart you are or how much knowledge you have or how hardworking you are. A lot of it just comes down to being in the right place, right time. So, building social skills and like creating social skills and knowing how to create good, close friendships and relationships and connections is definitely going to serve you well for your whole life. So my actionable step that I have for this part of the video is to define your biggest constraint when it comes to these skills that we mentioned. So time management, respect for authority, discipline, and social competence or social skills. So I want to rate all four on a scale of 1 to 10 and see what your lowest ones are, just to see that what skills can be strengthened, right? That's all you have to do for right now. Then let's go to part 2, which talks about how to get the best grades. And even though you should not be learning for grades, you should be learning for actual knowledge. The school system is built, even though all your teachers tell you do not do this for grades, you should be studying for knowledge, not for grades. But the school system and university in general is built for grades. Essentially, the whole motive behind going to school is just the grades. The grades is kind of like the main criteria that they base every student on. It's the grades. So, if you really want to succeed in that area, then you need good grades. You're not gonna go into a good university because you were hardworking. If you didn't get good enough grades, doesn't matter. You were hardworking. It's mostly determined on your grades. So we're gonna talk about how you can get better grades, and that's gonna be through higher productivity. Well, first of all, higher focus, and then higher productivity. And I'm gonna be talking about 4 things. Yeah, 4 things that can really improve your focus and productivity. First one being diet. So when talking about diet, most people think about diet just as when they're trying to lose weight or gain muscle. It's kind of like only your body benefits from, like only your muscles and your body and your physique benefits from the diet, right? But if we're trying to be more accurate and correct, your brain is also pretty much fully dependent on your diet, because the nutrients that your brain uses to function for brain cognition comes from your diet. So whatever you put into your body also affects the way you think. Like if you've ever been used to a clean diet and then you go on even one bad meal, one meal of junk food, you wake up the next morning with the biggest brain fog, and your brain, you cannot do any work because you don't feel like you're up to it. Like your brain doesn't feel like it can function, fully at least. So improving your diet and actually getting quality foods is definitely going to improve your brain cognition. And another tip that I had within diet is intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is a tip that has really helped me increase my productivity, because I already explained this a lot, but if you think about it, your brain uses energy to function, right? But also your body uses energy when you're trying to digest food. So if your body is doing both at the same time, like trying to function and do the intellectual work while also digesting the food, you're not going to have the full energy potential that goes into your brain. If you limit your eating window to I would recommend 8-hour window at least to start. You can do 6 and then 4 hours, and then it gets more extreme, right? But honestly, stick to 8 hours of eating, right? And try to make the eating after you're done most of the important work that you have for the day. So if you get the work done by 12 p.m., then you can eat from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And so that once you start digesting and you feel lethargic, right, you've already done most of the work, so you're fine with it, right? You're not sacrificing any your productivity that way. So yeah, intermittent fasting definitely helped me with my productivity. Part two, or tip two, is improving your exercise, or just exercising in general, because a lot of you probably just don't even exercise, right? Exercising is a great way to get your mind off those overwhelming, anxious thoughts, right? And it's the best way to clear your mind that I've experienced so far. So whether that's going on a run, doing a sport, weightlifting, whatever it is, any type of exercise, fair to exercising, good for you. But yeah, I try to basically exercise kind of in the middle of my work task. So like, not in the middle of my work. So like I kind of split it in the middle of the day, right? So, because bro, if you think about it, like when you're doing work, after like honestly after an hour, your productivity already starts to decline. By like 2-3 hours in, you're kind of like, your brain is kind of like fried if you've been doing genuine work for 3 hours. So I would think it would make more sense to like go for a run, like do a gym session, get your mind off, let your mind rest while you work on your body, and that way the stress you put on your body takes away from the stress on your freaking brain, and that way you clear your mind and you feel more prepared and relaxed once you can go back into doing more work. So that's what I've been doing as well, and it's been helping me a lot with my productivity and my brain cognition in general. The third thing I want to talk about to increase your productivity and focus is elimination. Because when we think about being more productive and successful and whatever in general, right? We think of what tasks to add, what habits should I add, right? I should do this, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, I should do it, right? But the biggest improvement, and it's something I got from the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. It's a really great book, not affiliated or anything. Read it if you want. And I already have a review on my channel on the 4-Hour Workweek. That's for later, right? The biggest thing I learned from that book is elimination gets you way much further than addition. Once you eliminate, because if you think about it, if you've ever heard of the 80-20 rule, which is the Pareto's law, which is that 20% of your tasks create 80% of your beneficial output, of your results, right? So 20% of the things that you do on a daily basis, those create the majority of your results. So wouldn't it make more sense to eliminate a lot of the bad things that, not bad, even if they're not bad things, maybe they're just not meaningless, they're like neutral, they're neither bad or good, but they don't really help you, right? It's kind of a waste of time. You're just killing time with these tasks. So like for example, checking email, right? If you eliminate those tasks and make them more less frequent, right? So like for example, checking email to once or twice a week, or even if you're doing like five times a day, check it once a day. That would eliminate a lot of the useless tasks, and it gives you more time and attention to double down on the tasks that are yielding you the most results. And I'm going to be linking down my Atomic Habits pages and my habit tracker templates down in the description, and they're going to help you on how to eliminate a lot of the habits that are useless or even bad for you, and and the habit tracker template will help you stay consistent on the habits that are yielding you the most results. And when talking about grades and productivity and focus in general, another really important method that I've used is called eating the frog. Eating the frog is basically, think about it, eat the frog is like an unpleasant thing. And so like if you had the choice to eat the frog and eat a nice meal, and you could choose the order, right? You would definitely choose to eat the frog before the nice meal, because once you're eating the nice meal, you've already forgotten about the frog, and it's like you're already done with that. Rather than eating the frog later and you still have the aftertaste in your tongue or in your mouth. So eat the frog is basically kind of like the same thing. So it's basically doing the difficult and the unpleasant task first, right? So the first thing in the morning, you do your hardest task of the day. Your most important task of the day is probably the most unpleasant because it just requires the most brain function, right? So this is something that definitely helped me with my productivity. Is doing, like I set, like the night before, I decide what's my biggest task tomorrow, and that's what I do the next morning, right? And then after that, even if I don't do much for the rest of the day, I'm still kind of I'm more fine with it knowing I've done the most important thing I wanted to do today. And you get rid of all the anxiety, like not having to think about the whole day thinking about, oh, I haven't done this yet, I haven't done this yet, I haven't done this yet. Because you already done it. You've already done the most important thing you wanted to do today. Actionable step that I have for you in this part 2, which is for grades, is to first of all watch my ultimate gym guide that really talks about diet and exercise. And I'm gonna leave that in the cards as well. And also think about the biggest task that you have to do tomorrow and actually do it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning you eat the frog, first thing in the morning. Part 3 of this video is going to be talking about popularity. The reason why I wanted to focus about popularity is, first of all, the more people you know, the more fun the whole experience it is going to be at school. And you can actually utilize that popularity to select a few good friends that are really gonna help you on your journey to become a better man, right? You can become friends with smart people, people that are ambitious, right? That go to the gym regularly, they take care of their body and their mind. So once you're popular and have a larger social circle, you can have more people to choose from. Obviously, it's gonna come with also a lot of more bad people that you can choose from, but then you have to actually think of what's gonna serve you best. Think of the people that are gonna help you the most with your journey, the people that you really care about the most and that you want to help the most. Because it's not just them helping you, you help them. Because you create a brotherhood that you have with those friends. But you can't do that if you don't know anyone. If you don't know anyone, then you have no friends to pick from. So I'm going to be talking about some tips that I have for you to become more popular. Because I'm not going to tell you just become more social, just talk to more people. Because it's pretty hard for most people. Most people won't do it, so it's just not practical. So the first thing that I had to say is become highly invested in one skill or hobby. So whether that's a sport, it's a skill and hobby, whatever, right? Whatever you wanna, let's say you wanna focus on a sport, basketball or soccer. Well, I call it football, right? Or a skill like sales, or a hobby like game design, right? I want you to pick one of them, one that you probably already know that you're really interested in, and put all your time, free time and attention into. All your effort I want you to put into that. You don't whatever time that you have that you could waste, you put it into that skill or hobby, and you become really good at it over time. And at the same time, I want you to join a team or a group that revolves around that hobby or skill. So you join you can join a sport club. You can join a group that's focused on your hobby, right? Something like that. And that way you expose yourself to more people, right? And people that have the same interests as you, which makes it easier for you to communicate with them and be social with. And that's slowly gonna get you outside your comfort zone. And you're definitely gonna improve your social skills just from doing that. And another thing, to become more popular, you need to become more good looking. You need to improve your public image, because that's the first impression that people get from you. They're not going to get it because, oh, you're a good person. It's because how you look, right? How you dress, how your skin looks, right? Like if you have a skincare routine, your fashion sense, yeah, right? And also your physique. So you got to take care of your exercise, your diet. You got to keep that in check so that your public image is going to reflect you in a good way to your social circle. So the actionable step that I have for this part of this video is to think of the sport or the hobby that you want to put all your time and effort into. And that was pretty much it for this ultimate guide. I wish you the best with your school experience, and I believe in you.